So I am going to start first with Arianne. Arianne, it's nice to see you. My first question for you is if you would tell us about your path to becoming a choral conductor.
Sure. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. So I guess it all begins with I started singing when I was a kid in the San Francisco Girls Chorus, grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area. I was born without most of my fingers and my left leg, and singing in choir was actually a very important part of my healing experience and journey. It gave me confidence. It helped me get through that period of time. And when I got to Smith College, I wasn't actually planning to be a music major. I was a government major. And I had two amazing choir directors at Smith who said, you should check out conducting, you might be interested in it. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. And then I fell in love with it. And I had a conflict at the time of, do I use my hands to do something, is it going to be hard for me to be engaging in an activity that uses my hands, which is something I was, at the time feeling very insecure about. And the answer, of course, in the end was, it was worth it for me to continue making music with people. So, so since my time at Smith, I went through a couple more years of school, and actually my path led me to meet Brandon when I attended Yale for my master's, and Brandon and I got to collaborate with the Yale Alumni Chorus, and we got to know each other really well. And since then, I've been great friends and have been able to work together in a lot of different capacities. And then I lived in Michigan, and then came here. So that's kind of the short story version of my path to being a conductor. And I love being here back in the area. I love my students at Amherst, and just it's been really great to work with Illuminati. So yeah.
Well, thanks, Arianne. And I feel like, full disclosure, people should know that I sing with Illuminati, and so I can attest to Arianne's amazing gifts as a conductor. I've been singing for a long time now, and I really appreciate the way that you approach your work. But I know that we are not your only group, and so what should we know about your group, Kaleidoscope?
Kaleidoscope is well, we started in 2019, but of course, I had a little bit of a hiccup with the the pandemic. But the ensemble is made up of professionals from all over the country. We celebrate racial, ethnic, and gender diversity in the ensemble, mainly workshopping and interacting with students of all ages across the country, to show representation in the arts. We work a lot in social justice and the intersection of arts and social justice. My programming reflects that, and the work we do as an ensemble really is just about fostering communities that are inclusive and diverse. And Brandon, actually, also we've commissioned Brandon to work with Kaleidoscope, which has been wonderful. And the ensemble we're really busy. We just finished a residency at Yale, and we will be working with the Folger Consort and Bob Eisenstein. Many of you know Bob. Folger Consort in DC in May, and we have really exciting upcoming projects. Central ACDA headliner, and working with Juilliard 415 next year, and Les Délices in Cleveland. So the group is really great. I think what makes the ensemble unique is the fact that we don't always just perform, but we really engage with people and students on these difficult topics. And it's been really fulfilling. So yeah, check us out if you want. Thank you for sending the link. But you're welcome to check us out and see the things that we've done. But it's been a very big, this has been something I've wanted to do for a long time, is starting an ensemble like this, and it's been really fulfilling to finally have that chance to do so and create music with these artists.
Well, thanks for that, Arianne. And I can't help but send the link. Librarians like to share information. It's kind of what we do.
Perfect.
So my last question for you is, how did you approach the programming for tomorrow's Mercy concert?
So, when we were programming, and it takes me forever to program. So when I'm looking at repertoire, I usually take one piece and let that be sort of the center for my programming. So, and then I kind of program around it. So, the Little Magical Passion is a very special piece. I was able to work with David Lang on the piece right after it was premiered. So, and since then it's been a story that's really spoken to me about this little girl. And if you don't know the story of the Little Magical Passion, I mean, it's very heavy, and it's very tragic and also beautiful. This little girl is trying to sell matches, and it's cold, and nobody is buying matches from her, and she doesn't want to go home because she's gonna get in trouble. Long story short, it doesn't end well for her, and it's very oh, I think Shirley, we're watching your screen.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and stop that. That was an accident, Shirley, but thanks for being engaged.
So I anyway, I knew that I wanted to perform that work with Illuminati. It's just a really beautiful piece, and we're in the middle of this winter cold. Last week was unbearably cold for many of us, and I think it's a very thought-provoking work, and I wanted to pair it with something that felt a little bit more uplifting and hopeful. And so the first thing I decided to pair it with is the Schütz Musikalische. For me, that's a beautiful piece of music that is not performed enough, and its nature is so uplifting, the musical nature of the piece. There's some dance-like motives, and it's able to showcase so many different voices. And the text, to me, in the Little Magical Passion and in the Musikalische Exequian, they're both very personal. So the Little Magical Passion is based, he really takes the Bach St. Matthew Passion and sort of formats it similarly to the structure of that work, which has a lot of personal reflection, like stay with me when I die, that it really is me. And so it causes people, what happens in Bach's work and also in this work, it causes people to sort of say, like, this is not just about a story, but this is really me. Like, I need to reflect and think about what I do, and think about my role in the world, how I can treat other people. So because it makes it so personal, I wanted to pair it with the Schütz, which has similar texts. Stay with me when I die, asking the Lord in companionship to be with that person in their last days. So I liked the text pairing of the two. And I also liked the contrast of the musical styles. So I said, okay, let's put these two pieces together. And I knew that I wanted a work in between them that would stylistically complement both, be a little bit different. And I also wanted it to be something that would draw our attention to the fact that, the Little Magical Passion is a universal story of suffering, and that together as humans, we need to look out even further and think about what we do as caring and caregivers and people who can contribute to society and help heal a lot of wounds. So I wanted to make it more global, that the story of this little magical passion, the story of this little girl, became more global. And so of course I went to my dear friend Brandon and said, could you write a piece that does that? I said, here are the pieces we're doing. Here's a Little Magical Passion. Here's the Schütz. Let's make this piece something that is complementary in that it pulls together these ideas, but also makes it more personal and stretches that meaning of kindness and need. And then Brandon was able to come up with this really awesome piece that does that. I think it really draws everything together from these two works and makes it more global. And then of course I'm really thrilled that Casey and the kids from Hampshire young people's course, it's just really great to have those voices, especially after the story of this little magical passion, right? To hear their voices immediately after that, I think is extremely powerful and really, really haunting in some ways. So yeah, so that's kind of where the ideas came from in terms of my programming of the works. And I think it's gonna be a really powerful performance tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it was wonderful to sing with the kids last night at the dress, and to hear that and to really see. I'm excited to see how people respond. I want to attend, but of course I got to perform, so I'll definitely be there. Arianne, thanks so much for us, and I know that you're going to stick around with us for a little bit, but you can't stay for the entire time.